modern day fullback now, so when I came through and I was learning off Gary Neville and Wes Brown, it wasn't that. You look through it and he's only going to get better. He's still at a good age.
United bid farewell to Aaron Wan-Bissaka but welcome some new faces. We're looking at the squad and the season ahead, as well as the upcoming Legends fixture to support the wonderful Manchester United Foundation. That and more on the latest episode of the Theatre of Red. You are all very welcome along to the first Game Week podcast of the new Premier League season. Manchester United will commence proceedings on Friday evening when they welcome Fulham to Old Trafford. I'm delighted to be joined by Premier League royalty today, a man who has tasted success in 2016, having risen through the academy ranks to represent United, Newcastle, Leicester and more. Mr. Danny Simpson, I have to say it's a genuine pleasure, my man. How's everything with you?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, all good, thank you. What about you? All good?
I'm doing good. You're a busy man yourself these days, Danny. Plenty on the plate keeping you occupied. Amongst all is the upcoming Legends fixture against Celtic in September. The iconic Brian Robson obviously is going to lead a star-studded group, including yourself, Antonio Valencia, Berbatov, Nicky Butt, Scholesy and more. I have to know, as a man who's been there and done it on the grandest of stages, the allure of running out at Old Trafford must never get old.
No, listen, mate. I go back there, watch the games, and obviously do my bit with MUTV. And you stand on the side of the pitch, and you've got vague memories of when I was playing as a kid when I first broke through, and even when I went back with other teams, went back there. But no, listen, this opportunity and to run back out on Old Trafford with the names you just mentioned and some of my obviously heroes as a kid. Against Celtic as well, it's so this way everyone's getting fit for it anyway. And I spoke to some of the lads, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, look, should be a big crowd there, and even like just friends, family. Even my daughter's gonna come and see me, back on Old Trafford, and I can't wait.
And I know a lot of it's going to be played in a good manner. It's all about the better cause at the end of it. But there's going to be a certain level of competitiveness there. There surely has to be when you have that amount of ego on a football field at one time. You'll be going out for the win on the day, surely, Danny.
That's 100%. Look, yes, we're doing it for a great cause and the foundation, and which always we'll get into. But listen, when we get on that grass, step on that over that white line, I tell you now, we're all going to be wanting to win. I tell you, us and them.
The fixture itself, Danny, it's going to be played, obviously, as we said, in an understandable manner. But the overall backdrop is all centralised around the work of the Manchester United Foundation. All proceedings from the fixture are going to go towards raising funds for the foundation and the work that's done. Having spent time with many individuals associated, the caring nature and the work that's put into aiding the youth of Manchester never ceases to amaze me. And what the foundation completes on a daily basis, I don't think it truly gets enough recognition for what it actually stands for. With you as a local lad, what does the foundation mean to you personally?
Do you know what? It means a lot. And like you said, I don't think it does get enough for praise for what they do and what goes on a day-to-day. I've been lucky, fortunate enough to, as a local lad, go to Old Trafford and spend days with kids who are coming in from all different schools. And it's about helping them in their futures. We're very fortunate that we can tell them our stories, give them experience. Me and some of the boys that have been involved, and hopefully they tell them our memories and let them give them a bit of confidence in school, because it is tough now in schools now with everything that's going on social media. And when I'm speaking to them and the workshops that they put on, I think it's massively important that these kids, like I said, take a bit of confidence, because there's a big world out there, and like I said, and just coming in using the foundation, I think it's massive that it can give them something to look forward to in their lives. Like I said, as a local lad, it's important that this is the next generation of kids. Whether it's football, whether it's all the other jobs that they can do, it's important for Manchester that we do our best for them to have the best future they can.
As an ex-player, it's nothing that's mandatory for you. This is something that you do yourself because you can understand the work that's going on there. You've spent considerable time with the foundation, notably with initiatives such as Celebrating Excellence and the unique school days at Old Trafford. Many of the listeners to the podcast, they get in touch with me regularly about the work that is completed at the foundation, because several weeks ago I had Nathan Thomas on and we had a good discussion about it. They often ask me how they can get involved and what they can do to help. For those unaware of the time and the efforts that people actually spend with this, what would you tell them about the initiatives that you've embraced so far? We'll say specifically about the unique school days at Old Trafford.
Yeah, so I've done a few now. I did one recently. No, was it recently with Harry Pinero and Joe Thompson? So on the literally you had, and you know what was great about it, because I actually said nothing. I had some friends actually doing the workshops who were successful young, entrepreneurs from Manchester in all different different areas of work, and they all had different workstations, and it was an opportunity for these kids to go to each one, asking questions, showing what they do. And there was a girl I know, it was one, it was for the girls to go model, because she was a plus size model. So it's not just about, oh, you have to look, like amazing and that. It was, so that was massively important, as that was one of my friends. He had all kinds of different jobs, and like I said, it was just good to see all the kids and see what their interests are, and to listen, and for us going around with them as well, and even some of the stuff I didn't know about, and we was getting involved and helping them. And like I said, I think Joe Thompson was there, and he gave his story on some of the battles he's had in his life. If people don't know, we've getting cancer a few times now and beating it. So yeah, it was just nice to be around the youth and see how enthusiastic they were, and just being at Old Trafford for them. Some of these kids, they come out of school, they get a day out of school to go around Old Trafford and meet players, meet people, meet different people in all walks of life. So from what I got, the kids absolutely loved it, and yeah, they go back with hopefully some clarity and maybe what they want to do. It's hard when you're young, isn't it, to know what you want to do. When you do your GCSEs or you leave school, it's very tough. So, days like that, maybe, some of the kids think they have an idea what they want, and then maybe when they meet different people, they maybe get more clarity. And I just thought everyone, for giving back to them and them enjoying it, I think everyone, really enjoyed it and took something from that.
It is massively commendable that you give your time to that. Obviously, I said at the very start, you have a lot on your plate, and it shows how much it means to you and every other ex-pro that's happy to go out there and to do that. Obviously, as you said, the proceedings of the Legends fixture are all going towards the work that's going to continue on now and in the foreseeable future. The fixture getting underway on September 7th. But Danny, if you could address each and every one of them and you could give them a reason as to why they need to get their bums in the seats on September 7th for that fixture, what are they expecting to see?
There's a few reasons. One, like you said, it's to help for the foundation, to help the communities, the schools in Manchester, in the areas what I've just explained. It's there's a lot of people that we don't get the mentions, the staff that are there and give a lot of their time, for our children and our youth. But no, it's going to be, I said, it's going to be a fun and game, loads of goals. Hopefully, I think that's what everyone wants to go to them games. You want to see loads of goals. And look, you're going to be seeing, obviously it's an international break, so you're going to see legends back on the pitch. Like I said, Paul Scholes. My debut was getting a ball off Paul Scholes as a 19, 20-year-old and crossing it for Wayne Rooney, So just for me as well, getting the chance to play with Paul Scholes again and Berber and the likes that you just said. And listen, it's Man United and Celtic. I don't think you need. It speaks for itself, doesn't it? The history of the two clubs, and like I said, it's always a special day. Them, and honestly, please, if anyone can get down, with the kids and and the families, I know times are hard and stuff, but if you can come down, have a nice day, and like you said, and it's also going to a good cause.
Numbers forward here, Manchester United. Garnacho trying to win it. He might just have done that. Scored in the FA Cup final against Manchester City. And he scored here at a crucial time in the Community Shield.
Despite what was a frustrating end, it was about as assured a performance from Erik ten Hag's side after about 20 minutes. And I think it's after leaving many rethinking their aspirations for the season ahead. From what you saw, how did you feel about Wembley on the day and the performance of the side?
Yeah, I think you're right in terms of it took 20 minutes. I don't know whether it was, you want to shut up shop first. It's Man City. You want to be compact, and I felt like the lads were very compact and not letting anything through the lines. Anything that's going to happen is going around them. But then I feel like it was quite a mature way to go about it, because it gave you time to build into the game. And like you said, after 20, 25 minutes, that's when we started getting our chances. And then you're going into the, and then just confidence as well. That I think sometimes in pre-season, you're still trying to find your feet. Now, we all know what's been going on for every club with players going in Euros and coming back on different days. So it's tough for the lads to gauge where they are. It's tough for the manager, it's tough for the staff. And you're trying to win a Shield. Also, you're trying to find your feet and still get fully sharp, which takes still a few weeks into the season. And then second half, it was all United. The chances we had, you look at, I think Marcus had a great chance. I think Scott McTominay had an issue where he could have put someone in. I think it might have been Garnacho. Then he had a chance. Marcus headed it to him and he went with his wrong foot. And, so we had good chances against them. And, everyone keeps saying, oh, well, City didn't have the best players in terms of Rodri, Foden. Obviously, De Bruyne came on, but the back four was pretty experienced with the keeper, and we got in. So, and we've got injuries ourselves. So, I think going on from the FA Cup as well, I think it was a solid performance. I think if we would have won 1-0, I don't think there would have been many arguments. Just unfortunate that it was Palestri. He's not a right back, so I'm a right back, so I could see that he had no idea what was going on around him, and it is what it is. So, and then penalties is anything. So, I think it looked good. They've had a good pre-season, and then the lads are coming back bit by bit now. And Cobby got 60 minutes, and lads are coming back. So I think overall it was, we didn't get the Shield, but I think it was a decent performance.
Yeah, I'd agree totally. In the run-up to it, I spoke with Dan Nardiello. I wanted to get his perspective because my failed ambitions as a professional footballer ended at about 16, 17. So I never had the professional pre-season venture. But I was really curious about the ideals in coming into a pre-season. There was so much made, particularly from mainstream media, that United have lost here. But ultimately, it has to be about gaining continuity and building patterns of play within the squad, especially when you're trying to come back and regain fitness with X amount of players missing after the Copa America and the Euros. And then you're trying to, I suppose, integrate players. In this case, it was one player, and it ended very unfortunately with Lenny Euro. With what you saw, and from someone who's been there and done it, players I can't imagine are going to be entirely downtrodden about losing on the day, and surely will be looking at the performance and the amount of opportunities that were created as opposed to the scoreline at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't think, because ultimately the game ended in a draw. I know we lost on penalties, so I don't think you don't come off feeling like you've lost. I'm just going to flip back to something. I played in the Community Shield against United. You'll remember, obviously, for Leicester, and we lost 2-1. I think Jesse Lingard scored that little goal. He ran through, and then we got one back, and then Ibrahimovic scored late on, and we felt like we'd lost because we lost 2-1. So ultimately, it was, and then we went into and we'd not lost for a while, so it was a weird feeling for us, and we're all still trying to get fit. And we went into the start of the season, and that was still hanging on us a bit. And we went to Hull, and we lost, and then it was like, oh my God, we've lost 2 games. So I don't think this will feel like a loss, because it's penalties, and it was 1-1 and probably should have won. So I think the lads would have walked off that pitch. Like, I'm trying to imagine when I said to him, look, there was a lot of positives. I'm pretty sure he got back to Carrington, did their analysis, watched the clips, and I'd like to think, there was a good feeling about the group after that, coming back into Carrington, leading into this week, obviously into Fulham. So no, I think, and then do you know what else I've liked about this preseason as well, is when I was there as well, is with the Euros or World Cups, the young players get a chance, and we saw a few, Toby Collier, he done really well. He came on in the Charity Shield. I don't think he was around much last season, the first team. He's come on in Charity Shield, looked like he'd played there, for a while. Young Harry Amass, he done well. So you also get that the young players get them opportunities to show the manager that, oh, maybe I'm in your thinking down the line. So there's pros and cons to it, sometimes. But I think it's overall, I think going into Fulham on Friday, I think it's been a good pre-season bar the injuries.
I'm delighted you mentioned Toby Collier because I've been reporting on the academy for so long. So when I start seeing these guys coming through, I mean, even stretching further back to Kobbie Mainoo, remember when we won the Youth Cup, there was so much plaudits and headlines for Alejandro Garnacho. And obviously he deserved them because he was a superstar. But so many people missed the likes of Mainoo being the glue that was holding everything together in that side. And then he came on to the senior level, burst through, and everybody is now aware that we are looking at the second coming of Jesus. It's as simple as that. But when you're looking at Toby Collier, I think he has a very similar trait to Mainoo in that he doesn't seem overawed when he's playing in the first team. He's walking onto the football field and it's, I belong here. I'm not any way worried about this. And like you said with Harry Amas as well, I mean, he's only turned 17 years of age.
I know.
Like he's a baby, but yet he's gone out there and he's playing like a man and it's fantastic. It draws on as well in mentioning Mainoo and Garnacho. And it's something that we should obviously mention and touch upon, that both have now been nominated for the PFA Young Player of the Year, which is really testament to this age-old adage of you're good enough, you're old enough at Manchester United. And I know they're going up against Cole Palmer, Bukayo Saka, Michael Olise, João Pedro. But even to get a mention amongst those four players is really the truest testament to both of those academy graduates, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it's a credit to the academy and all the coaching staff, because, Man United is all about youth and bringing people through. I've forgotten now how many games it's been now since we've had an academy in the squad in match days. I think it's, the number's so high, and that's what it's about, and that's what, me being around it from a kid. It's even more special to see when, they're not just coming through and getting an appearance, they're coming through and they're making a positive impact, and they're actually, you're seeing them going, like you said, going from a boy to a man, and it's great to see the transition in it because it's just a different confidence about them all of a sudden. And I think and sometimes the second season is normally harder once you've burst into the scene. So I can't wait to see Kobbie this season. We would have seen him earlier last year, obviously, other than what he got injured, and we've managed to see him the second half. Garnacho, again, you can see he's starting to be more like, this is me. He's a lot more calm in front of goal. You look at his goal the other day, and what I loved about that goal was he's right-footed and he's been playing on the left when he's come through, cutting on his right. But on that incident, he come on his left and backed himself. Now, now he's learning that to his game to be able, as a fullback, to marking someone who can either go on the outside of you and then come on his left and shoot. It's so difficult, and it'll be great for him and the manager and United that you've got that now as an option. You can just see him maturing, and like you said, the ones underneath there. If I'm told, I'm Toby and Harry, I'm looking at thinking, well, we're going to get a chance if we're good enough. And the manager was going to give us a chance, and if I get a chance, I've got to take it. So it's great for the young ones as well to see them doing that. Like you said, Harry's only 17. I was fortunate enough last season to go into Carrington and just watch and be around the 18s and the 21s, and I've seen it. So it's great to see that they've had this pre-season, and I think we will see them this year. Especially you look at left back, we're very thin there. I know he's only 17, so we might see him getting some minutes, in the cup games and with Europe as well. Sorry. So I think it's great for United that we are bringing this youth through.
Yeah, and it's given options, it's given squad depth, and trying to, I suppose, shield us against the inevitability if there was any further individual injury issues like we encountered last year, that at least there's options there to be able to cover it. If we are to enjoy a profitable campaign, it's imperative to start strong. We've seen the departure of several first-team players and the arrival, obviously, of Lenny Yoro, Joshua Zirkzee, alongside the imminent arrival of Matthias de Ligt and Nassar Masraoui. Now, for those listening, we are recording before any confirmation of that duo has come through. But I wanted to ask you specifically as a right-back. You obviously drew on Pellistri in the Community Shield, and that was unfortunate for him. I know Ten Hag, he got a bit of a slap in the wrist online following that. But when you're looking at Aaron Wan-Bissaka going to West Ham, it's after seemingly drawing a line in the supporter base, because I didn't realise the amount of people that were really behind him staying at the football club. Obviously, his defensive ability is immeasurable. I think he's probably up there with the very best I've ever seen on a one-on-one capacity. But we're looking at a football team that are trying to strive forward and gain this attacking philosophy. When you've got Diogo Dalot, after coming through and really sort of stamping his mark on the first team and what he provides, not only on the wing and the flank and going up the wing, but he's also cut in and been this almost an inverted 10, providing an additional attacking metric forward. How do you view the move of Wan-Bissaka leaving and Mazraoui coming in, who almost has a similar portfolio to Dalot?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like you said, it looks like you're bringing in someone in that is similar to Dalot. And like you said, and having Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, it's like it was kind of working in a way where, you know, you could play. You know, we all knew with last year Wan-Bissaka, you know, if Doku's playing, it's like, you know, Aaron's going to lock him off. You know, if you know, I seen Aaron last year when he go left back and man mark Mo Salah and shut him down. Now, it's a great option to have with someone that maybe doesn't complain if you're not playing. But then when he does, you know what you're going to get. Okay, we know you're not going to get going forward. But, you know, if you're winning a game and you bring him on for 20 minutes, you know he's going to shut the winger down. And wingers are even thinking that already. I think it's only him and really Kyle Walker where I think wingers are thinking, not going to get much from them today. With Kyle Walker's pace, they're the only two that stand out for me. So, yeah, listen, it's Ten Hag. He wants to bring in his own players. The only one thing I would say about Aaron sometimes is, you know, sometimes it's a bit of communication, a bit of talking, a bit of, you know, on the pitch, a bit of oomph, and maybe that's that as well. But he's moved on. I'm looking forward to seeing the new boy. But Dalot, I just want to mention Dalot because he's improved loads to me. I watch him sometimes when I'm watching the warm-ups and stuff, and obviously we see him stuff with Ronaldo, and his mentality looks absolutely spot on. And he looks like someone that, you know, he tackles and he celebrates, and I love to see all that passion and determination. And he looks so fit. He can, you know, up and down, not a problem. So he's come on leaps and bounds for me, which I didn't see when he first came. So it's going to be an interesting one. Like you said, he can step in, he can play on the left and come in inside as well. Obviously, we are short at left back, so it's going to be an interesting one. And sometimes maybe you just need fresh faces in the club and to give everyone a lift. And yeah, that's the route we've gone down. And obviously, good luck to Aaron because I know he's a good kid.
I want to elaborate even further on what you said about Dalot. I'm one of the few for the last 2 or 3 years who's really sung his praises. Yeah. And I've tried to play the larger picture with him, even when he went off to Serie A on loan. And a lot of people were sort of washing their hands and saying, that's it, it's done.
Yeah, I thought that.
He must have one of the strongest senses of character, self-belief and determination of anybody within that squad to be able to have that sort of downfall and a little stumbling block in what was his aspiration to maybe follow in Ronaldo's footsteps and becoming a legend at Old Trafford, to come back and to grow in what he has done. One thing I noticed after the Community Shield, Doku nutmegged him during the game at one stage, and immediately the naysayers jump on him. Immediately they jump on him. This fella's a liability. His defensive knowledge is nowhere to be seen. And I think it is the most over-exaggerated and sensationalized point, because in the prospect of what a fullback is in 2024, that they have to be good going both ways, it's very, very hard to name a whole lot of better players than what Dalot offers on both sides of the field. And that was another thing that I wanted to run by you, given your expertise on the side. He's surely up there amongst the very, very best in the league.
Yeah, like you said, when he went on loan, I thought don't think we'd see him again. And maybe sometimes you need that, you know, to go away and come back fresh. And I said he surprised me both ways, I'll be honest. I've seen him improving a lot more, better at the back post. He's a big, strong boy as well, you know. You know, he's not flight. And like you said, I think we always knew about him going forward, but he's fit, his engine up and down. The modern day fullback now, you know. So when I came through and I was learning off Gary Neville, Wes Brown, it wasn't that. And now it is. And you look through it and he's only going to get better. And he's still young from what I remember. He's still at a good age. And he's still learning. And I think last year, he got Player of the Year, didn't he? Did he get Player? Yeah, he got for that.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
That, you know, just from that alone, it's great that your team, when your teammates vote for you for that, that's must be a massive, boost for your confidence going into next season, that you're on the grass with your mates that all think that well done for last, well done this year, you've been our best player. So I'm expecting, and now with the new lad coming in, and it's going to be a fight, and I'm expecting, and I feel like you said, his mentality, he looks like he's up for things like that. So he'll only get better and better. So yeah, he's improving, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he handles the new player coming in. That's similar to him, and that's what we want. It's Man United. You want competition for places. You want the managers to have a headache, and you want players to have to step up. So it's an interesting one. I'm looking forward to it.
Likewise. And Fulham, as we previously mentioned, the visitors on Friday night. I think there's many people, including myself, that are hoping we can repeat that 5-1 drubbing in 2006 in the opening day. I'll take 1-0 at this moment, but with everything that you have seen throughout the summer tour ahead of the fixture, would you be confident of the side maintaining these impressive passages of play ahead of that fixture?
Yeah, listen, it's great. Listen, imagine starting the season on a Friday night at Old Trafford. What a way to start the season, Listen, Fulham are decent. With no illusion, Fulham are good, and they made some good signings. Obviously, we know about the Smith Rowe signing, but you're at home. You've got a decent pre-season. You had a good result, Man City. Boys have got to be going into that on the front foot from the first minute. Put as much pressure on you, get the crowd going. Last season, some of them games against Liverpool and when the boys are at people like that, the crowd just get right behind you. And I've been there as an away player. It's not nice. So the lads have got to start using the fans a bit more, because they will get right behind you when they're like that. The atmosphere, especially at the night games. So there, listen, I'm expecting another good performance, another good week this week with the training. I'll be at the game. I'm looking forward to it. And we don't know. Listen, we don't know if you just mentioned the signings. We don't know if they'll be completed, or we don't know their physical condition. We haven't seen Xerxes yet either. But I just want to mention, I've loved Ahmad in pre-season this year. Yeah, and this is what I love, because you got Garnacho now that came on and done well and scored the goal. Ahmad's been on. I think he's been the highlight of pre-season. The standout, I think. And we've got Marcus, who looks like the England thing has hurt him, and he wants to get going again with that. So we've got now competition in them areas. So I think it's what we want, and I'm looking forward to. I'm just going to throw out there. I just think it's going to be a 2-0 win for me on Friday, and we just move on.
Well, I'll certainly take that. And the last thing I want to ask you, given the acquisitions in the squad and the two that we hope are going to be done and dusted by then, and the availability of the players, the options of these attacking outlets that we've just discussed, what sort of expectations do you hold for the upcoming campaign?
Yeah, I still think we don't know if they're coming in, the defenders, as you've mentioned. I still think we haven't seen much of Xerxes. I still think we need a couple more if we can. Like you said, the unfortunate injury to Lenny Oro. I was at the Rangers game, and he looked, for someone his age, looked so comfortable. So yeah, that's a shame. But no, I'm thinking that them players now have to think that we finished 8th. Listen, we got FA Cup. We've had 2 trophies now, and it's time to really make our mark in the league now. It's going to be tough because everyone's getting better and stronger, but we have to be. Listen, anything less than top 4 it'll be disappointing for me. I think we've got a young group now. We're getting young players in. Ireland's had a year now. I know he's injured. Hopefully not too long, and so he's had his year now. He get his Arsenal goal. So hopefully he can kick on. So yeah, I'm really, really hoping that we can be solid and strong and mount a comfortable top 4 finish, and enjoy Europe. And have some more young players coming through, because if you look at it, you've got the age of some of the lads now. This group could stay together for many years with a few additions.
And Bruno Fernandes looks like he's on the verge of completing his contract, staying for the club for another 3 years. It's nothing but positive signs, really and truly, moving forward, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, again, Charity Shield. Listen, this guy, mate, I don't know how some people still get on him for maybe what, because he does this and that, and for the guy's a winner. You know, he's nearly fit for nearly every game. He goes to Portugal, he goes to Euros, he's back and performs like that after a couple of weeks break against Man City. You know, that goal was disallowed in the top corner, you know, it's like, and now it looks good that he's going to sign a new deal, and he deserves it, because like I said, it's not just his quality. He does run his socks off, and his availability is key. And then I love the fact that he's our guy that, you know, everything runs through, and you've got all the boys around him. So great news if that is confirmed that he signs his new deal.
You stole a march on me there, because I was going to say the greatest attribute of any footballer is availability, and I don't think anybody can match him for that.
No.
Danny Simpson, it was a cracking chat and great to spend time with you today. What have you got coming up over the coming weeks?
Funny enough, I've got I'm training at the moment for a boxing fight, which is in Dublin, at the Free Arena on the 31st of August, which is the week before the Celtic game. So yeah, I should be fully fit, ready to go for that, because the training's tough, but it's been great for me mentally, and being around in like a camp with all the lads again, and it's obviously something about it, football. So, and it's a challenge. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Getting fit, and like you said, so that's hopefully them 2 weekends. Hopefully I get a win in Dublin at the Misfits fight. And then the following weekend, obviously, I beat Celtic, so that'll top off an amazing week if that happens.
I did say at the run of the podcast that you're a man with a lot on your plate at the moment. You certainly are. Is a future in boxing something that you're looking at, or are you just taking it one fight at a time at the moment?
Yeah, no, there's honestly, like, I don't know. I'll just tell you, listeners that are listening, like, when you stop playing football, you miss, working towards something, whether it's, we used to Saturday afternoons, go a game, getting a win, Tuesday nights. And I've missed it. And I got a phone call, got this opportunity. I've never boxed in my life. And I've enjoyed getting fit. Sometimes it's, mental health and all that. And it's just been amazing to train with the guys in the gym and see what they do and how hard it is trying to learn a new skill. And I'm trying to work towards something, which is a bit of a goal. Or I always love boxing, but it's walking out on your own into a ring is scary, but it's about challenges. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'll answer that question after the 31st. But no, I've loved the training. Whatever happens, I'm going to continue the training, because it's great, and it just keeps you used to what I'm used to in terms of being in a dressing room and stuff. So it's been amazing up to now.
Yeah, well, wishing you the very, very best of luck for that. Planning on getting up and watching you in that too. So I'm very much looking forward to that. If anyone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way of doing so?
Yeah, I've got my social media and my Instagram and my Twitter, and it's all there. So yeah, anyone wants to shout out or come down and support for that one, as well as the obviously the Celtic game, I would love that. I think people enjoy the song that I'm coming out to. So yeah, it's to do with United. I'll probably give it away now, but yeah, it's anyone wants to reach out and support, then that'd be fantastic. And again, if anyone can obviously get to the game against Celtic and give back to the foundation and for the kids, and have a great day, it'd be I'd love that.
Here. As always, you can get in touch with me at Shaun Connolly 85, and be sure to support the channel at theatre_of_red across all social platforms. But finally, please subscribe and review wherever you're listening today to help us create more weekly content like this. Enjoy the weekend of Premier League football, and we'll catch you all next week.